So the inmates essentially had their own libraries and became their own librarians and lending libraries.
Absolutely.
It's pretty amazing.
Absolutely. Everybody knew it was a big deal to have a library. In jail, it was a big deal. If you ask anybody who has anybody in jail, they're always going to ask for Cindy books. When we just went to the thing with Mumi Abu Jamal, there was a woman there, and the thing was is that because she was getting the book and she said she was sending it to somebody in jail, she was getting it for somebody in jail, and I'm telling her, you can't take it, you got to send it through. She's like, I know, like everybody who has anybody in jail, you're familiar with the process of how to get these individuals books. The first thing they're going to ask for is, can you get me this book? Can you get me a book? Because this is eventually it's just natural to want to improve yourself. I think it's just
even in that environment.
Yeah, it's just part of being human. It's just like even when you work out, it's natural to be a better you. Guys gonna start jogging. Then you got a guy he don't drink sugar. This one don't eat meat anymore. And it's all because of something they read. It's like I read this thing and now I don't eat meat. I read this thing and everybody's educating themselves and everybody's looking to improve themselves. So, with that being said, given the space to do it and without undermining the process. And that's what I was getting to when I was talking about the guys who come back through from school with everything they just learned. It's just like imagine I'm talking to you about all these things right here and then we walk outside and there's a shooting. And then somebody say, what did you guys talk about in the booth? You can't really remember because it just got wiped away by the harassment environment that you walked into eventually after you left. So you're just hanging on to a thread where a teacher teaching you something about standard deviation. And I only say that because I still don't get it. Teachers teaching you standard deviation and you just barely got it. But you haven't practiced it enough, you don't have it yet. And now there's put your stuff down, get against the wall, do all of this. They take you through this horrible experience. There's a pat down, metal detector, cell slamming, By the time you get back to the cell, you put that book down, and some guys who were in the cell, books didn't get picked back up until the next class because they couldn't get themselves back into that state, to a learning state. They were always in a state of arousal because going to mess and going to, just going in the rough environments, you can't calm yourself. There are certain individuals who could. Thankfully, I could, and I was able to get things done. But the guys who can, it's a catch to it. And
are you saying that it's not just the school environment that is critical, but also the environment that you're housed in has an impact on how you're able to learn?
Yeah. What good is homework if you're going on? Just imagine, okay, you got a kid who goes to school and he has a great teacher, and then you give him homework. And then he goes home and is an abusive parent. There's child abuse, there's alcoholism. Where's that child going to do his homework? You can teach him whatever you want to teach him in school. A lot of schoolwork is done out of school. The lessons are handed out in school. What happens out of school, that's where you really put your real work in. So if you're housed in a bad space, it doesn't matter what happened in that classroom. Once you spend what? An hour and some change in that classroom, and the rest of that you spend out of that classroom. That's what's going to matter the most. That's what's going to matter the most. I would almost say it's equally important, but it's not. It's what matters the most. Because even some of the greatest teachers' talents can be undermined by the fact that you live in a horrible environment. So the two have to work hand in hand if you want it to stick. And the thing is that it will not stick. It will not stick. By the time those guys get back to themselves, the guys that are down under were always going to do better. Statistically, we're always going to do better.